MPOX has been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for more than a decade. Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern.
I really don't want to be back wearing this again. I really do not want to be back wearing this again, but it might be happening. So the World Health Organization have declared an international emergency. Trump, let's have a look what Trump's saying about it.
The left-wing lunatics are trying very hard to bring back COVID lockdowns and mandates with all of their sudden fear-mongering about the new variants that are coming. They want to restart the COVID hysteria so they can justify more lockdowns, more censorship, more illegal drop boxes, more mail-in ballots, and trillions of dollars in payoffs to their political allies heading into the 2024 election. Does that sound familiar? These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with.
So is this obviously talks of lockdowns, shutting schools down? I really don't know whether we can go that far again, but if that were to happen and then there were to be travel restrictions, we're going to go back into like a COVID, aren't we? What's going to happen to prices? What happened during COVID? So I honestly don't think that is going to happen. But if you'd have said to us at the beginning of COVID, is everything going to get shut down? Are we going to be walking around wearing masks? Are we going to have to go shopping? Are we not going to be able to travel? Everyone would have said, I don't think that's ever going to happen. And look what happened. So, don't know. It does seem at the moment from early signs that they've got a bit of an issue, and obviously it's breaking out. There's quite a lot of cases now in Sweden. This is the 845 that we went away in, didn't we?
We did.
Went away in this.
Went away in this.
I was saying before we went away, I wasn't sure on the layout, but it actually worked really well, didn't it?
The really nice thing in this bathroom, which is the silliest little thing in the world, is that little hole in the shower.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah.
Put your shampoo in and stuff.
Things. So, yeah, lovely van. 33,995. What an absolute cracking bargain of a van.
Somebody, while you're talking about this one, somebody on the phone today said, what's the benefit of the straight seats versus the L shape? And I said the thing we actually missed the most with the L shape was having that window there, wasn't it?
Yeah, with when it got blocked. So they do an L shape
with the window.
With the window in.
Oh, do they?
Don't get the TV, but a lot of the newer ones now where they've started to put the TV with the L shape is, yeah, they've blocked the window out. But yeah, that's a massive thing, not having the window, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, could this be, could in 3-6 months time we see actually prices going back up again, and we see massive increases? Who knows? Who? Do you get it?
Yeah, very funny.
Who knows?
I'm laughing.
And we're not allowed to call it monkeypox. It's MPOX. So do not call it monkeypox because we're not allowed to. Last week we've got a tip coming up as well. So we've got a blind. Somebody says about how do we do the fly screens and blinds when they're not going up and down. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. Really, completely the wrong screwdriver to be doing it with, but this is all I've got to hand at the moment. A few more vans that you've not seen. So 4-wheel drive motor movers. This is the Bailey Phoenix 760. It is a 2000 and something. Let me just check. 19, I think. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. 2019. So a nice big family van. 2019, 17995. 4-wheel drive motor movers. Big centre washroom, so that works really well. And then look at that at the back. A lot of the kids in the back there. Shut both doors, you can't hear them. How brilliant is that? Nice big storage, big fridge freezer. It's got everything that you want. Not got an electric ring, so it's probably not got everything that you want, but a lot of people don't even use the electric ring. So another nice one that has just come in. Let us know your thoughts. Obviously Trump is saying that all this is just a big farce, basically to get him not elected to become president. But you know what Trump's like. Another one that's just come in. So this is,
Oh, I like the upholstery in this.
in theory, not stolen anymore. So this is the Caravan that, when we did the Chris check, came back and said it was stolen and caused a world of trouble. We then got a phone call to say from the police, okay, yeah, it is a mistake. So the Chris number isn't correct for the Caravan. So the Caravan that was actually stolen is a different Caravan, and this is the old Chris number, which is why. So it wasn't, and a lot of people I think misunderstood on the video where I was saying even if the customer had have done this, that and the other, he actually had done that. But what I was trying to say is, even if you do all of that, it can still happen. So even if you've Chris registered, you've done a Chris check, you've got the documents, you've got it all in your details, it still went wrong. It's still, so it wasn't even the previous customer from the customer that owned it now, it was the customer before that. So it was like 2 customers ago that reported it stolen. But the worrying thing is, Chris had got the customer's details, so they knew where the Caravan, or where the registered owner of this Caravan was. And for 2 years, the police didn't ever bother to go and have a look, and Chris never bothered to sort of say to the police, well, actually the Caravan that you've just said that is stolen, here's the guy's details that says that he owns it now, go and have a look, go and do an investigation. Nothing.
But do you know what the worrying thing is? There must be a Caravan out there that's not marked as stolen that is stolen.
So something along the lines, so there is a Sterling Continental, I can't remember, it was a Continental 650, but yeah, that's been, so since 2021 it was a stolen Caravan that never got registered as stolen, that will probably now get registered as stolen. So somebody might just be like having an absolute nightmare. Yeah,
because they might have Chris checked it and it had been
done
okay.
All the checks, dealer Chris checked it. Oh yeah, no problem at all. Sell it on, and now it comes up that it's stolen. So that's the sad thing of the cock-ups. And even this morning, we got in touch with Chris to say, has the Caravan now been taken off the database? No, it's still registered as stolen. We've checked the police database and it's still showing on there as stolen. Phones the police up, talking to the one person at the police, and basically he goes, oh, I can't give you any information, as far as we're concerned it's still stolen. Well, that's not what you said on the phone the other day. Luckily, an hour or two later, the constable that was dealing with it, he actually phoned up and says, yeah, we have actually notified the database now that this Caravan isn't stolen, so it will go onto the Chris system. It might just take a week or so. But what a nightmare. And then, like we say, there's another Caravan out there now, a Swift Continental 650 that is stolen. For the last 2-3 years it's not been stolen. So I don't know what to say really.
Shall I have a quick look in the washroom?
Yeah, have a look in the nice big washroom. So this is going to come on sale, I think by the time we've done all of our bits and bobs, it's going to be about 20 grand. Nice big sort of 2016. It won't be stolen. It hasn't been stolen, and it won't be registered as stolen.
What's this little thing on there?
So that is part of the solar, so you can control that. Have a look at that in there.
Oh, so this
is
retrofitted,
so yeah, this isn't the original solar controller, but basically it goes through there. You can connect a laptop into that, but I believe that you could do an app. The only thing with these is, because you've now got that panel and you've got that panel, in the winter when the solar panel isn't producing enough power to charge the battery and to run those 2 displays, it's going to run the battery flat, so you have to disconnect that one through the winter. Otherwise it will run the battery flat. And I found that with our lorry build. We've got a lorry build update, a real quick lorry build update coming now. Lorry build update. So not done a video for ages. Half because I've not really done an awful lot, and then also the bits that I have done I haven't really been able to get a chance to actually video. So most of the outside is actually together to a degree. All the top windows at the back are in. I'm now just going to put the front window in, and we're going to be doing a video on how to fit these bonded windows, so a completely separate video on that. Most of the side lockers are all in now, so this little side locker, you'll notice that we've got a raised floor now in there, so we'll have a look at that in a second. Wheel arches on this side, our mains hookup connection is on. Our water connection, our gas lockers, just hidden behind there, are all in. We did do a video on installing that gas locker. Our little side lights are all on. Our tie-up rings, so these are what we'll tie the horses up, so they're all fitted. Started to put now the trim plates on, so that just tidies the join up between the bottom skirt and the top panels. That last window, I've just literally fitted that in. All of the sort of back skirts are now 99% fixed in. I've got the lights in, so they're all fitted in. I've then made all the partitions for the rear sort of garage area, the horse area. Top lights are mostly in. I've got to put some little side lights in, and the pieces of wood that you could see laying up against the side of the lorry down there are actually the infill pieces, so I've got to wrap to coat those. So all this lot was all wrap to coated, so I've just got to wrap to coat those and protect them so they can then go on. And I've literally just used glass balustrade connections. Don't know why my hand's all fuzzy. I don't know whether I've put my hand in something that's luminous and I've gone radioactive, or whether it's my camera lens. I think it might be my camera lens. Give it a clean. That's better, that's better. I'm not luminous anymore. So the rails are right in to catch the partitions, the bottom rails to catch the partitions, the side section there that they'll connect onto is in, so everything's sort of in theory. So it just all needs fixing in properly. Window trims on this side are all in, so they've all been lined. Windows, that side I've got to line out. All the LED lighting and the roof and the fan is all in. I've got to put a trim around the fan on the inside. And then moving actually into the living section. So we've got a raised floor, so there's going to be steps as we walk in. The toilet area is going to be lower, and then there'll be like a bunk bed up above that, and I've got now the cutout through into the actual cab, cut all out, so that's pretty much the cutout that's going to be. That will then go into the cab, and I'm starting now to build a framework so that the body and the actual cab join together and sort of fix together and can't move around, and that'll stop then it being able to leak between the body and the cab. And then there'll be a seal that sort of it's like a foam seal that goes in between the two, and they'll sort of join in together. Bed is going to go on here, so I've just started to make or cut the rails for sort of the bed frame for that to sit onto, so that's just all in progress at the minute. And then figuring out sort of the proper cutout and how we're going to line that, and how, because the cab tips forwards, when it comes back in, it comes in a bit of an angle, so we can't put a piece of aluminium on like we have this side, because it will hit the join here. So a lot of figuring out and trying to trial and error and find out what works, what doesn't work, and then because that doesn't work, how we're actually going to address that. So that's still sort of in the air. Everything is everywhere, everything's a bit of a mess, mainly because, as I say, I've not really had the time to crack on with it properly. This side window is obviously in, and my next job is to get the side window in over here. So that's going to be my next job, so we might have a look once I've cut that through and just see how it looks once we've got a couple of windows in. Our control panel, I can't remember whether we've showed you this before or not, so our sort of main control panel, I've not got the battery power turned on at the minute, so this is a nice control panel that's going to go in. And then all the wiring, so we've got our trip switches, 230 volt trip switches, and then all of our fuses that will sort of, power will come into that, and then the power goes through the fuses and then out to the different supplies. So not done a huge amount on the lorry build, just with time, but that's what it's looking like at the minute, and we will try and do more, and I'm going to do a separate video on how to fit those bonded windows, so a complete sort of proper video. I'm pretty sure I've not put that video out already, but yeah, so there's going to be, if I've not already, a separate video on fitting bonded windows. So if you're looking to fit bonded windows, that's how you're going to do it.
Oh, what's gone on in here?
Little damp one. So it's had all front section all reboarded. Not a great job, to be honest with you.
It wasn't you then that did it?
No. 2006.
Gosh, they haven't even put the right board in, have they?
No, they've just used whatever they could get. It's got damp. It's the wall boarding again. It's pretty solid, but you can feel it. It's all soft.
Bubbled.
Yeah, can you see that on the camera moving? So the wall boarding's kaput. I don't think it was like, this is all solid, it's from there
From
forwards.
the window, do you reckon, or
Yeah.
the rail at the top?
Most likely from the window.
What about in the cliffs?
So, oh no, it's a bit damp up there as well, so
yeah.
yeah, so little cheapy though, little project, either if you want a load of the furniture, if you want all the upholstery, all the bits and bobs. You'll have to check on the website what this price was going to go on it, because I can't remember.
I don't think it's on there yet.
No, it's not. It's literally just come in, and we've not had check. It's just come up the back here. Probably going to be about £2.5 grand. So look at the washroom on that for £2.5 grand, cheapy. Little 5-berth. Put a mattress in the back, seal all the rails up, stick it on the side. You've got a great little cheap caravan. And we're doing on Sunday. I'm going to show you how to find cheap campsites, because everyone was saying last time on the one video that I didn't show you properly.
Did you get told off?
No, everyone was just saying you didn't go through all the prices and all the rest of it, so I'm doing a proper video.
Right.
I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Next one coming up, motorhome. So this is just coming part exchange for a caravan, and this is going to be going on sale fairly soon.
What's caused that?
Probably damp. A lot of it, to be fair, will just be from sort of when they're manufactured, but what has probably not helped is damp. So sometimes if you see big bulges like that, could be a sign that you've got damp issues, that this has got damp issues.
It doesn't need a step, does this one?
Hey, you never know. So we've got a little bit of floor delamination going on, a little bit of damp going on. They've painted, I think it was in the cupboards. Yeah, I reckon that's been painted at some point to cover up the
Damp.
In the roof at the back, again, done the same.
Oh my gosh.
What a little motorhome this is. Somebody has a little project. What a cracking little motorhome this is. I think it's had new tyres, it's had the cam belt done, it's had a fortune spent on it.
So the actual engine and
all that
sort
side of it
stuff's
is really good. Yeah, so just get yourself some
habitation.
sealant, a little bit of DIY, and you've got a really, really cheap motorhome. The chap paid only sort of 18 months, 2 years ago, about 25 grand for this, I think they'd said. And it's going to be half that. So
this is that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like decent size, isn't
it's
it?
It's a great size. I think all the fridge was working, the different bits and bobs. It's got aircon on the roof. I can't remember whether they said that was working or not. But yeah, this is going to be for somebody that wants a modern.
Nice, modern. I don't know whether you call it modern, but
It's modern. Look at the
Ish.
upholstery.
yeah, it's not
My
bad.
phone rang and I can't remember what I was saying there.
What year is it?
Something. It's a something. 2004.
Huh?
So yeah, if you're after a cheap, modernish, fixed bed, doer upper, cheap. Cheap is the key.
Well, you wouldn't really need to do it up, would you? Just put some sealant on it and live with it
just
as
seal
it
it
is.
up and leave. Yeah, it's going to be a cheap little motorhome for somebody. So, yeah, keep an eye on the website for this coming on, because it's going to be a little cracking bargain for someone. So that is going to be coming on sale, hopefully, next week. That's the one.
Go the other way.
So, let's have a look at this blind and see how to adjust these blinds. Just had a load of stock coming over at Gailey, so I think we've had 4 lovely vans again arrive over at Gailey, so they're going to be going onto the website next week. Then we'll get all the pictures and everything like that sorted on there. So a nice Bailey Cabrera. I'll go through quickly what we've had in. So we've had a nice Bailey Cabrera, another 6-berth Sprite Finesse or Swift Finesse, another Swift Finesse 580, so that's got the island bed, and then a lovely Eldis island bed. I can't remember which model it was, but really, really nice. I think that's got the sort of coloured sides on there, so it looks absolutely stunning. Now this is a blind that I've just been repairing this last week, and what had basically happened is
It's taken you all week.
taken me all week, halfly getting parts, and what had basically happened was somebody from that used to be here, should I say, had bodged this up basically, and instead of just going, oh actually, if we were to order some new ends and we were to repair it, because all that it was these little ends had just started to break off, so they'd glued it to,
Like
I think,
these corner caps.
yeah, these corner caps. So it had been glued, it had been messed about with. These little fittings here where it screws onto the wall were all broken. So I've ended up, you can't, some bits you just can't get, certain sizes you just cannot get, and I think that's why they've probably tried to repair it. But what I've managed to do is get a similar blind with good end caps, and then take all the bits off the good one and do like a heart transplant. It's not like a heart transplant, is it? But transplant the good bits onto this blind so it all fit and all worked. And now what I'm tending to do
So
is,
you've now got a good blind that's not a good blind because you've taken all the good bits off it.
no, this is the good, well, yeah, the one that I've stolen isn't any now longer good, but this blind that we're going to refit is now a good blind.
Right.
And in the ends, so on these ones, we've got these little
They're a
bits.
bit like IKEA things, aren't they?
Yeah, and that basically is going to retension the blind up. Now, when you've got sort of 3 window blinds along the front, sometimes you've got to undo the leg and pull it out so that you can get in. But all sort of fly screens and blinds that go up and down on their own, like this, have these little tensioners. So occasionally, if it's not going back up properly, you've got to retension these up, and what you've got to watch for is basically,
You don't do it too much.
well, not just that, but you'll get so far, and if you try to over tension, it'll just go and all undo.
Aye.
So you have to watch for that, and then hopefully,
Whoops.
oh, you don't pull it too much. So that one again just needs a bit more tension. It's not very smooth, so that needs a bit more tension on that one. So
Is there one at the bottom for that then?
yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
on this side, so again just the same sort of thing, we'll retension it all up. I've got all the cap covers to put these in, put onto here, so I can finish it all off nicely as well. But sometimes when we just can't get the original parts, or they don't do it anymore, it's a case of trying to find different ways. So that works quite nicely now. It's just a workaround, and trying to actually find a way then, how can we fix it, how can we repair it, and how can we make it good again. So we're pretty much there with that. I think I've put it all back together now. It's a shame.
Could you buy these blinds as a complete unit anymore or not?
Only really used that I'd found.
Right.
I couldn't find any new ones, and then the odd few that I did find were different, and then couldn't get the sizes the right size. So it's the actual sizes that is the biggest issue. But that is somewhere near now. All the fixings now are good again, so that can go back into the Caravan, quick clean up, and it'll look spot on. But that is basically how you retension your blinds, and get them sort of working and doing what they should be doing. And it's just always that little end clip. Good screwdriver. That's not the right type of screwdriver to do it. You want a good flathead, good sized one that goes into that, and then you can sort of do, and it's just push it in, twirl it round, and then release it, and do a little bit at a time. Don't try and really go over the top, just do little bits at a time. So that about wraps up this week's video. I think next week we'll be looking at Gailey. On Sunday's video we have got the campsites. So how to find cheap campsites. We're going to find some good campsites at the right sort of prices. I'll show you how to do that and how to be flexible, and a few little tips and tricks along the way. That's about it. So yeah, I'm Mark at the Caravan Place. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you then.
I have accepted that advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of MPOX in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported MPOX, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying.